Hey guys, I'm Maniac.
And I'm Pineapple. And today we're doing our first ever comparison of 7 Days to Die and ARK, and how they are similar and yet vastly different.
And I will take the very first aspect, building. And the building aspect in both games is in 7 Days to Die you have a much wider variety of building options given to you than ARK. You have a much smaller variety of building options given to you, and the ways that you are able to utilize the building options given to you in 7 Days to Die aren't as wide or as much as you are able to use the smaller options given to you in ARK. And for example, you are able to in ARK build a much better looking base, taming pen, so on and so forth. And in 7 Days to Die, you are able to only build a very simple looking base, considering it is based on a snap type of rigid style. And I'll pass it over to Pineapple to talk about the crafting.
Fantastic. Now, both games have a good amount of crafting items and materials that you can use in the game, but in 7 Days to Die, there's not as many crafting stations or items to actually craft within those crafting stations as there is in ARK. For example, you have, in 7 Days to Die, the forge, workbench, chemistry bench, campfire, and cement mixer. But in ARK, you have the campfire, the cooking pot, mortar and pestle, the smithy, the refining forge, the industrial cooker, the industrial forge, and the industrial grill, along with the fabricator and the chemistry bench. In each of those workstations, you are able to craft many more items than you can in the 5 crafting stations for 7 Days to Die. And on that note, I'll pass it back over to Maniac for farming.
And in the farming aspect of both games, you have much more seeds available of your choice to plant in 7 Days to Die rather than ARK. I think you only have 8 to 10 seeds without the DLC. And fertilizer is necessary and a necessity for both games, because if you plant the seed of your choice in the ground in 7 Days to Die, you will only yield 1 plant. And you need to get the fertilizer to yield a much bigger harvest. And getting the fertilizer in 7 Days to Die is a much lengthier process, because you have 2 options of getting fertilizer. You have the campfire and the cement mixer, in which I think it takes a half hour to 45 minutes for either of them. And you have more options in ARK to get fertilizer, in which fertilizer is a necessity. You cannot farm without fertilizer. And you have the dung beetles to get fertilizer, the compost bins. If you use a toilet, you can flush your own feces down and get a fertilizer. And you have the option of grabbing a dino feces or your own feces and putting them into the farm plot, in which you can use to get a smaller harvest, but still a harvest. So I will pass it back over to Pineapple to talk about the harvesting.
Fantastic. Both games you can harvest a good amount of material, but in ARK there is a much wider range of resources that you can harvest compared to 7 Days to Die. And there's also a much wider range of options to harvest with compared to 7 Days to Die. For example, in 7 Days to Die, you can make a stone, iron, or steel pickaxe, fire axe, or shovel, in which you can dig underground to get your resources, or even destroy items above ground to get your resources. But in ARK, you can make a stone or metal pickaxe, hatchet, or sickle to harvest all your items mainly above ground or in the ocean. Or you could use a dinosaur to harvest your different materials, and each dinosaur will harvest certain materials better than other dinosaurs. And on that note, I'll pass it back over to Maniac for our last portion.
Alright, thank you. And our last portion of these 2 games is talking about the survival and exploration. And I'll talk about the survival and exploration on 7 Days to Die. And 7 Days to Die is strictly a grinding, survival-based game. And the survival-based aspect is much better in 7 Days to Die rather than exploration. But Pineapple will talk about the exploration in ARK. I'll talk about the survival in 7 Days to Die. The survival-based aspect is much better, like I I just said, because you can go out and scavenge for food, resources, clothing, empty jars, empty cans, what have you. You can move around the map faster than walking on a mini bike, which you can build by reading the, I think, Mini Bike for Dumbasses schematic. And then you have to worry about zombies from the time of 2200 to 4 o'clock in 7 Days to Die, and you obviously can build your base to take refuge in until 4 o'clock. Then you have from 4 to 2200 to go around the map doing whatever you want, killing animals for hide, animal fat, meat, which you can cook, and to grilled meat, charred meat, whatever. So I would say that the survival-based aspect is definitely better in 7 Days to Die than ARK. I'll pass it over to Pineapple to talk about ARK.
Fantastic. As Maniac did state a few seconds ago, ARK's survival aspect is not as good as 7 Days to Die, but the exploration aspect is way better than 7 Days to Die. The biggest difference is that 7 Days to Die, you can dig underground, like I said earlier, or you can dig above ground. But in ARK, you can only dig materials that are above ground or actually in like caves or something like that. Now, one way to be able to explore the map is you could either run around, on foot, or you can run around on different types of dinos, or if you really want to, you could fly on certain dinos, which definitely adds to a better exploration aspect compared to just running around or using a mini bike. And one more thing that adds to the exploration is that you could bring a shoulder pet, which you can't have any pets in 7 Days to Die, most likely because they'll get eaten by zombies, but having a shoulder pet with you definitely makes the exploration more fun.
And I'll wrap up the video on that note. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this new segment of our channel, and that you guys would also stay tuned for our other videos, and or click the 2 links above us, or you can check our channel. That'd be much appreciated. And we're also live streaming every other Sunday, so if you guys come and join us. I'm Maniac.
And I'm Pineapple. And together, we are the Tazmanian Knights. Please like, comment, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get all notifications about our channel. Also, if you'd like to, you can become a patron by visiting our Patreon channel, which is featured in the description down below. Or, also in the description down below is a link to our Facebook page where you can see all of our uncut videos.
Catch you next time.